Okay, so hello there. Let's have a very quick review of what actually happened here. We have the song for the opening of the 1 hour special Attack on Titan episode dropping 3-4 days from now. It just got leaked and it's kind of interesting until the first half, but then it gets very interesting later on. Be aware that it does have manga spoilers, what I'm going to talk about. So here, let's take a look at what actually is happening in the lyrics, because it's kind of important and it kind of ties into AOE and ANR specifically. I'm going to talk about the link more in depth later on. So the first thing we have, the first line we have is, where are you at? Where have you been? This is a song from Mikasa to Eren. Do remember that. This is important and we are going to come back to that later on. Sim actually confirmed this fact themselves. Where have you been? Yeah, that's not very important. It just ties into the anime part. Even if I ask, there is no answer to the question. Yeah, because it's a thing about Eren has distanced himself from his friends. It just ties into the manga and it's just, okay, I'm not going to jump into the AOE bandwagon. I'm inside actually. I'm not going to jump into that right now. Let's just listen a little bit more and talk about that a little later on. Yeah, says, where are we headed? What did you mean? It just doesn't really add that much to that. You can kind of interpret everything which I just said so far and you hear in the song so far as AOE related, but dual meaning stuff, not really a fan of them. I want concrete proof to not let people actually debunk stuff like that. Even if I chase you, it's too late, you are too far. Yeah, that's okay. That's pretty much the plotline so long, but okay, so here it gets very interesting. So a bird, a butterfly, and my red scarf. A bird, as I said in the other video, we call them Bakbaku Eren, Kaftar Eren, Bird Eren. Pretty much means Eren. It's a symbol of Eren. Butterfly, Mikasa, and that's very important. Then we have my red scarf. So another confirmation that this whole thing is coming out of Mikasa's mouth. This is Mikasa's opening, Mikasa's song. So here we have the thing about butterfly. So if you know AOE, you know that butterflies play a significant role. If you have watched Attack on Titan, you probably have seen butterflies a lot and you have probably seen them in places that it doesn't really make much sense for you to see them, because they are actually active agents of AOE, let's say. On the off chance that they are not, I do remind you, this is a song. This is the opening song for the third part, and we have the butterfly part, we have Eren butterfly part, and the red scarf. So if you remember what happens to butterflies in the opening of Rumbling, that the same band made the song actually, you probably have noticed something very strange here. So using the word butterfly to refer to Mikasa, when just in the last opening, the butterfly was, let's say, killed and the wing was cut off and pressed on by, crushed by the colossal titans, the wall titans, it probably does make more sense than anything else. And then on the next line you have the thing about memories. Don't make a mess of memories, just let me heal your scars. This could actually be about the anime, that hey, don't ruin everything we had, talking to Eren. It could be that, but do notice that we have butterfly here. The thing about butterflies is that if you remember from AOE theories and how they were used, it's a very convincing point that they do appear as agents of the new timeline or agents of memories, let's say, and stuff like that. We have seen that happen. You know the theories. If you want to read them, just any video will do. I don't have an English language video on that. On my main channel, I'm making it in Farsi. If you can understand Farsi, good luck. So it could tie into AOE, this part. The use of the word butterfly here to refer to Mikasa is actually pretty important. But let's say, just for the sake of it, these two is part of the anime only and manga only shit thingy. It doesn't really refer to an original ending. Let's just move on. Remember that, but let's just, for the sake of not being too optimistic, let's say that yeah, that's just something else. We are gonna just discredit that and move on. But then we have something very interesting. Do remember they were talking about memories and butterfly, the bird, Eren, and the red scarf. It says the wall, the old forgotten war. I do ask you, which war is an old forgotten war? If we are talking about the whole Titan things and the Titan shifters, the aliens and the Marlians and the world, it's not forgotten. We pretty much know that. It gets brought up every single time. It's not forgotten on any count. And what else could it be? Just think about that. It doesn't make any sense in the context of the story to say the old forgotten war. There is no old forgotten war. Everyone remembers that war. That's the reason they are trying to bomb Eldia to oblivion. And that's why it's not a forgotten war. So again, let's move a little bit forward. In the place where time stops. So this is talking about coordinate, path, whatever. The path, sorry. It's talking about the path. So we have these things all together side by side, the old forgotten war in the place where time stops. It kind of talks about how Mikasa has been waging war against destiny to reset the timelines and to have Eren to himself, to not let him die. It just ties into AOE, the whole thing. You can actually choose, just for the sake of it. I try to be reasonable and I try to be balanced on all stuff. And logical, if possible. It kind of could be talking about Ymir and the founder in paths where she is making titans for everyone. We could say that this old forgotten war is the war that Ymir has against her own self, that she can't be free, and she finally in the manga gets freed from Fritz's love, let's say, or something like that. It could be talking about that. I do regard this part as a dual meaning too, although personal preferences AOE. So let's move forward. It's talking about getting older second by second by second. I don't really understand what's this one talking about, because I mean, you could be talking about, yeah, second. They use the word second 3 times. They're talking about E3, you know, the symbolism, AOE theory. And oh my god, the second timeline. It could, but no, really, I wouldn't be using that as an evidence for anything. I wouldn't be using that in arguments, no. Why don't you want to stay with me? It does tie into the manga too, the manga timeline too. Doesn't really prove anything AOE based. So let's move forward. Why? Oh my god, three words. Oh my god, it's AOE confirmed. Hope chat. Well, no, just let's move on. Are you giving up on me? That just also doesn't really show anything, and this is gonna be where it gets pretty interesting. I'll be waiting for you. Let me hold you under the tree. I'll be waiting for you. Probably is talking about I'll be waiting for you under the tree and let me hold you under the tree. So the whole thing is Mikasa's song. Sim confirmed that, and the lyrics also confirmed that my red scarf. It's Mikasa's red scarf. So the thing is here, let me hold you under the tree. It could be quite literal, talking about how Mikasa took Eren's head and buried it under the tree. It kind of makes sense. You're gonna be saying, hey, she didn't hold him under the tree. It was his head and she buried him under the tree. Oh, come on. We don't know that. We just know that she buried Eren under the tree. She could be holding him for a long while before burying him under the tree. We don't see that. We have no idea how that happened. And it could be quite literal and talking about how the manga went. So here's the thing. That seems quite interesting to me. The whole song is about the tree. Under the tree. Waiting for under the tree. Because I really didn't wait under the tree for Eren. She took him under the tree. You don't really have to wait under the tree when you take someone under the tree. For example, you're waiting for your friend to come at a coffee shop or something. Your friend, you wait a long time. Your friend comes and you are in the coffee shop, or you choose to meet in a place, at your place, his place, her place, and go to the coffee shop. You wait at your place, say, hey yo, welcome man, go to the coffee shop. You didn't actually wait at the coffee shop this time. You went to the coffee shop. The point I'm making is Mikasa didn't wait for Eren on the tree. She took him under the tree with her when he was killed by Mikasa. In my opinion, it doesn't really make sense on a manga standpoint, or whether it makes more sense on an AOE standpoint. And here's the thing. The tree, let's remember, this is where the timeline get reset. This is where stuff happens. We have seen the symbolism of the tree, and it's pretty important, and they made emphasis on the first PV they actually showed us. And this is a divergence point kind of from the manga, in the timelines. In the manga, we have Eren waking up. In the anime, we have Eren waking up under the tree. Mikasa is there every single time. She has been waiting for Eren under the tree. This makes more sense than taking Eren's head under the tree to bury him. She took his head under the tree. She didn't wait for Eren's head under the tree. Here's the thing. In my opinion, if you have these scales, it's much heavier on the side of AOE and ANR. And there is this thing, this part of the lyrics afterwards, that it just ties into the ANR, Akatsuki No Requiem music video. Let's just take a look at that. Yeah, night will take you. And we have a screen. This actually makes sense only on ANR and AOE. And let's talk about that. So this line in itself doesn't make any sense. No battle takes place at night. Nothing happens at night in the manga timeline. Every single time we see the tree, it's in the daylight. Night will take you could be talking about how Eren is taken by night and is killed and stuff like that. But let's take a step back and take a look from another perspective. So night will take you reminds me of a line in Akatsuki No Requiem that says, hey, O nameless flower who lost its petals tonight, rest peacefully when dawn breaks. You do get where I'm going with this, right? So here's the thing. We have a line that we can't make any sense of, and I'm going to play the part of Akatsuki No Requiem for you. We have the lizard thingy that many are arguing, and many of us are pretty sure that is a representation of Eren, adult Eren, after the rumbling, kneeling in front of a grave, and his knees gave up. And it's actually a pretty important person for Eren. I'm pretty sure it could be Mikasa. Why? Because here we have Night will take you. Then we have the line that says, "Oh nameless flower who lost its petals in this night." If you remember on ANR Theories, if you have seen the videos on the global platforms, videos in English language, nameless flower is referring probably to the heroes, let's say, that fought Eren and tried to stop the rumbling, but they died. And why they are called nameless flowers are pretty easy to guess. Because if Eren achieves full rumbling, does full rumbling, and destroys the whole world and kills everyone, who is going to remember Mikasa, Armin, and every single person that tried to stop Eren? Probably not a lot of people. And the reason is they are trying to stop Eren and they died. Every single person they were trying to protect is dead. So they are going to be nameless flower who lost its petals in this night. And what follows is, interestingly, please rest in peace. So I ask you, how on earth is this not a direct tie into ANR? It doesn't make sense. The line in itself doesn't really make any sense. Night will take you. And there is another point that makes it more believable. Bear with me. I know many of you are going to scream, AOE, hope chance, copium. So look, this is important. This is very, very important. And there is the thing. It seems that this could also be an ending song. Let's just see that. Let's read what Sim said in their communique, in their statement about this song. For some reason, they talked about how Eren's scream, that is a deep bass unique to Sim, was used in the rumble when they're talking about this Mikasa song Under the Tree. And they chose to talk about Eren's scream in their song. So here's what we have here that is quite interesting. The whole song, in the entirety of the song, it's just a soft, let's say, metal song. You don't have the screams, you don't have the stuff like that. Then suddenly, in the very last part, it changes completely. And we have the unique Eren scream that was used in the rumbling, used there. Pretty much this is Eren's message, Eren talking at the end of Mikasa's song. It pretty much makes sense to be a part of ANR, or let's say talking about ANR or pointing to ANR. It doesn't really make any sense if you look any other place and try to justify it in another argument. You could say it's talking about how Night will take Eren and kill him, but I mean, look at ANR, look at the scream. Why the scream? It could easily be done without the scream. There was no scream. Why the sudden change? We do know that when they they write these lyrics, they are aware of what's happening and they're not trying to, if there is an AOE, and they're trying to not spoil it. Or this is another possibility that seems more plausible, because it's very difficult to keep something as huge as this under wraps. Yoms and co, people that work on Shingeki no Kyojin, give them keywords and they say, hey, use them, and they just get feedback and stuff. Yeah, this one is cool, I'll just use the screen or something at the end. This is my opinion on the whole opening thing. It does seem it could be an ending theme too. I'm not really sure what's happening in this part, but what's happening to the song, when it's going to be used, because I have also seen some stuff on Twitter about how the cuts from that shows 138 could be just used at the very beginning of this part that we're going to see. I want to do a live reaction on Twitch anyway. So here's the thing, I do believe, considering everything we have seen, that this is a song that mostly, more than anything, confirms AOE and ties into ANR. Do leave your comments, I will read them. I'm sorry, managing 2 channels and streaming at the same time isn't really easy for me. Yeah, thank you for your support. I really enjoyed that you enjoyed watching the first video I made on this AOE thingy on my channel. And yeah, have a great day. As we say in Farsi, Shab Bakhair.